Hello, Assalamu alaikum. I am Ahmed, an international matchmaker. Every now and then, our experiences double, and there are certain things that we feel should reach you. That's why we find it necessary to make these videos from time to time. And believe me, the day you start taking the messages in these videos seriously, more than half of your problems will be solved without paying any fee to anyone. Alright, let me first share a few basic things with you. There is the AhmedMatchmaker.com website, IndianMarriageBureau.com, DubaiMarriageBureau.com, PakistaniMarriageBureau.com, and our email address is ahmedmatchmaker@gmail.com. You can contact us. Anyway, that information wasn't so important. I actually want to share with you some experiences we've had, things that happened over the past 3 to 4 months. What are the new developments in that time? What are the things that we are able to observe? How is the trend of marriages continuously declining? What are the requirements coming from the groom's side that are not only causing a decline in the trend of marriages, but are also leading to an increase in divorces? And is it only the boys who are responsible, or are the girls equally responsible, or even more responsible? I would like to start with an example regarding girls. About 3 to 4 months ago, 2 girls registered with us from Dubai who caused quite a bit of trouble. I want to talk about those cases where we face difficulties, and then we realize that people who are not genuinely interested in marriage should not be charged a fee. That is the most important point. Why is that? One girl was Indian, the other was Pakistani, and both are living in Dubai with their families. Even today, they are still there. This isn't something that happened a long time ago. They still haven't gotten married, and I can see that for the next 4 or 5 years, they probably won't get married either. So, what are the reasons? What are the elements or factors that are preventing them from getting married? Both girls were born and brought up there. Both of them were born in Dubai and grew up there. One is Pakistani, the other is Indian. But when it comes to their requirements and their outlook, I don't really see any significant difference between the two. But yes, when we spoke to their families, we always say, please tell us your requirements. When it comes to requirements, mention measurable ones. Measurable requirements are things like age, education, height, weight. These are things you can measure. Saying they should be decent people, that's not something we can measure. You can't measure if a family is decent. That's not quantifiable. Marriages should never happen just because a matchmaker says so, nor should you marry on their recommendation. We don't recommend that. What we do is charge a fee for providing 30-30 proposals. For Americans, the fee is $300. That same fee in the UAE becomes 1,000 dirhams. In Pakistan, 50,000 Pakistani rupees, and in India, 26,000. So we were talking about those 2 girls. When their families paid the fee, they started getting proposals. Now, what's interesting here, if we talk about the fun part, is that those girls would reject the groom profiles without any communication. They would say, no, we just don't get it, even though the guy is educated, even though he has a good salary. But they just didn't understand. And without any communication with the guys, with the grooms, they would reject them. Now, here's what you need to understand when you're communicating with someone. When you're actually talking to them, and then you reject them, it becomes clear, even to us as matchmakers, how much worth you have. For example, the boys' families, Were they really eager to marry you? So many guys have called us and said, Ahmed Matchmaker, we want a girl like the one you showed us. But those girls on their own just said, we don't get this proposal. If you haven't even communicated, how are we supposed to know whether you even had the capability or the capacity to reject them? It's like if Ahmed Matchmaker sits here and says, I don't want to marry Madhuri. You might just absorb that statement. But on the other hand, think about it. If Ahmed Matchmaker is saying he doesn't want to marry Madhuri, shouldn't Madhuri also be asked whether she wants to marry Ahmed Matchmaker or not? Or is it just one-sided? Look, you need to understand this. In Pakistani or Indian society, or even in Dubai's society, whenever a boy and a girl go somewhere, like you do, the woman is always given preference. That's the best example of it. Go to a school. Go to a bank. If a girl and a boy of the same status come in, the girl will be given preference. The girl will be given priority in the name of being an equal opportunity employer. So if your salary is 12,000 dirhams and that's the only thing causing a problem, then if it's about marrying a guy earning 11,000 dirhams, you should immediately quit your job. Or you should take a job with a salary of 8,000, 5,000, or even 4,000 dirhams, so at least this point gets resolved. Even when girls approach me from Pakistan or from India, they say the same thing. Ahmed, our salary is high. The guy should be earning more than us. So sister, just quit your job for a little while. It's only a temporary thing. Leave your job. Once you get married, you can join your job again. Now we're coming to the next point. Let's say goodbye to these two girls now. You parents, too, pray that such girls listen to their parents. Now, even their fathers had no idea what they were up to. Their mothers, on the other hand, will support them in today's times. But when these girls reach the age of 30 or 31, they won't be able to find any suitable boys. Right now, 4 or 5 boys were ready to marry them, but they didn't even consider communicating with a single one of them. That is the most important point. Now let's move on to the second point. What are the requirements of women who are in their 40s? All right, let's talk about women who are widows. They've lost their husbands. Whether they have children or not, it's almost the same. When a woman becomes a widow, her age is usually between 30 and 50, and she becomes a widow. So, what problems is she facing, and what proposal should be applicable for her? When or under what circumstances will she be able to get married again? There's a woman who lives in Australia. She is 41 years old. She has her own business. What should her requirements be so that at some point she can get married again? That's very important. There's a woman who has 3 children. She is a Saudi national. She was originally Indian. Now she's a Saudi national and has 3 children. She is 45 or 46 years old. She is very beautiful. But what should her requirements be so that she can get married again? That's the most important thing, you see. We've defined 3 categories of men. But let me tell you once again that there are 3 categories of men. The problem is that nowadays, both Pakistanis and Indians have put the worst category of men into the best category. And when women say they want that category, we already hold our heads in our hands, thinking, why would the man you're asking for, given your conditions, accept you? This is what needs to be understood. Look, let me tell you, the very best category of men is the one who keeps his wife and children with him. His first wife is still living with him, and his children are also living with him. Now he wants to do a second marriage. That is, He wants to marry again while his first wife is still present. This is the best category of men. He is fulfilling his responsibilities towards his first wife and children in a very good way. And now he is looking for a second wife. This is the very best category of men, which Pakistani and Indian Muslim women completely reject. Now let's move on to the second best category. Sir, the second best category of men is the one who, after giving a divorce, keeps the children with him. Unfortunately, in Pakistan and India, only 3% of men do this. Out of 100, only 3 men keep the children themselves. Otherwise, 97% of men just hand over their own children to the wife after divorce. So after divorce, this was the second best category, where a man kept the children himself. But even this has no value in the eyes of those women who want to get married. Whether it's 3,005, 3,006, or 40, even they don't matter. Those men who have kept their children with them are also not considered important. Not for those women in the age brackets of 3,005, 40, 41, or 46 years. In their eyes, the best man is the one who takes on their children, takes on their responsibilities, and shoulders all their burdens. The ideal man, according to them, is the one who, after divorce, hasn't kept his own children with him. He doesn't care about his ex-wife, and as they say, they want a man with 0 liabilities. So why would he keep your children? You need to ask yourself this question when he has already given his own children to his first wife. He doesn't take responsibility for them. He doesn't keep them with him. Then why, in this particular situation, would he genuinely consider taking on the significant responsibility of your beloved children? Even if he were to earn a substantial sum, perhaps 10,000 Australian dollars or even more, and possessed absolutely everything one could possibly desire, why, in all honesty, would he choose to marry a woman who is already 41 years of age? Why, indeed, would he not instead opt to marry a much younger woman, perhaps someone who is 26, 27, or even 28 years old? That truly is the single most crucial and profoundly important point to consider in this entire matter. Why wouldn't he do that? That's what you need to think about. You people are not willing to put yourselves in the other person's shoes. Now let me also mention this Indian Saudi national who says, "I'm 46, and here in Saudi Arabia, a lot of Americans come. Show me a match with an American national." I said, "Madam, you have 3 grown sons. You're 45, 46 years old. Let's assume, according to Ahmed the matchmaker, that you're very beautiful. But that American national, or even the mirror also misguides women a lot. If you stand in front of the mirror and ask, 'Tell me, who is the most beautiful?' it will say, 'You are.' That's very easy. Honestly, if you ask that 45-year-old American national, 'Brother, you have to marry a 45, 46, 41-year-old Saudi national woman, and you won't even get nationality, whether he's an Ottoman, Yemeni, whatever, or if it was an Indian woman, a Pakistani woman, who by mistake got nationality and is now flying high saying, 'I want a man like this.' Brother, that man also wants something, right? Or does he want nothing at all? Why would he, being an American national, British national, Canadian national, running a good business, marry you?" No, the mirror told me who was the most beautiful, so this was the second category. Alright, so this third point, since we've talked quite a bit about women, I don't want any female viewers to think that all the faults are only in women, or that men have no faults at all. Because Ahmed the matchmaker is sitting here, and since he himself has a male-minded personality, maybe he's only pointing out negative things about women and not about men. So, Saji, let's include men in the third category, since men also approach us. Sir, the biggest problem with men is that they want to conquer Australia, Canada, Japan, the whole world, all on the back of women. It becomes very difficult. Once, I was on TV, on a morning show, and I said that if ever there are women who want to take a man from Pakistan abroad, first, I myself would be interested, then my acquaintances, then my friends, then my father. I'd have a huge circle of people before I'd send anyone else. Why would I send men? So, let me clarify this for men. If any man is watching, he might think, no, man, our turn will never come. To this day, no family has ever come to me and said, we want to take a boy from Pakistan. And even if by mistake they do say that, 10 boys from their own family are ready, so they don't even need to come to a matchmaker. Understand this. If any matchmaker tells you that they'll charge a fee and get you to America, Canada, Australia, Denmark, Norway, Sweden, no, sir, that's never going to happen. Plus, the girl will be beautiful, well-mannered, from a good family. None of that will ever happen. Even if someone does win such a lottery, I wouldn't want to say how many times that girl has been divorced, or how unstable her mind is. And then she thinks if I bring a guy from Pakistan or India. Many times, men watching will say, we're ready. Brother, you may be ready, but those people are not. What difference does it make if you're ready? You say, I'm ready, madam. That's exactly why the next person says, brother, whenever you want to get to Australia, the USA, the UK, Canada from Pakistan, you have to spend 4 or 5 years, and then you have to leave. So, you being ready is no big deal. The question is whether those people are ready or not. So, men, please don't contact me if your only wish is to go abroad. In 10 years, not a single proposal has gone abroad from my platform. There are YouTube videos with dates showing when I started and up to today, with exact dates and videos. In 10 years, not a single person has managed to go abroad from my platform. And as I said, even when those girls or their parents do offer such an option, the useless boys from their own family are ready. So neither you nor I will ever benefit from it. That was the third category. Now, let's move on to the fourth category. The fourth category is about those people who take out a little time, spend a little money, speak politely, and gently decline. Believe me, because of their good manners, even God is pleased, thinking, this is a well-mannered family. They should keep getting proposals. Otherwise, what we see is that ill-tempered, rude people. People are interested in them for a certain time. The first proposal comes. Fate sends a second, a third, a fourth. But even fate has its limits. At a certain point, fate decides that this person simply doesn't want to get married. So what's the point of this long line following them? There's really no benefit to it. One suitor comes after another. The second gets ready after the first, the third after the second, and the fourth after the third. But if these people just don't want to get married, then fate puts a full stop on this person's marriage. And then the marriage just doesn't happen. Then the marriage doesn't happen, and people start to worry. You need to understand this. If you want to hire any matchmaker, if you want to hire Ahmed the matchmaker, and you want to deal with him politely, then go ahead. But if you want to scold people, insult them, like, look at his face, look at this about him, look at that about him, then the marriage won't happen. It just won't. That was the fourth category. Now, let's talk about the fifth category. In the fifth category, the role of the boy's sisters becomes very important. So, there's a category, and in this fifth category, I get surprised. And sometimes I think about my own sisters, like they never called a matchmaker, or maybe we never gave them the chance. Our own love lives just worked out. But whenever I remember my sisters, they never contacted marriage bureaus, even though one of my sisters is in Canada, one is in America. They never called the marriage bureau and said, "Our brother is in Pakistan. I got married and moved to Canada. I got married and moved to Australia. I got married and moved to the UK. Now I want to bring my brother here because our parents have also come to live with me," or some story like that. Like the rest of our family has immigrated. These sisters come up with a whole story, and honestly, hats off to those sisters. But I say, kindly, sisters' love is one thing, but brothers should have a little self-respect too. Why do they make their sisters chase after matchmakers? Because when I get calls, it means other matchmakers are probably being chased too. Call them, tell them. And when these poor sisters contact us with so much hope, even then I have to say, "Madam, if you can convince your brother, why are you trying to convince me? You'll pay the fee, but nothing will happen." Let me tell you, even if you, as a sister, feel compelled to do this, and you think it might work, then fine, I'll give you 36 proposals. My job is done there. I say I'll charge my fee. I'll give you 36 verified proposals, and the next call will be, "Yes, this is Nazia's mother speaking, but we are not interested in bringing someone from Pakistan, that's all." And that's it, they'll hang up. My job is done. I get my fee for the 36 proposals. So instead of lecturing the matchmaker, kindly tell your brother, "Hey brother, grow a backbone. Get some education in your head. And there are many other ways to come to the UK, Australia, Dubai, Germany, Japan. Try those ways, my brother. If I got married in the UK, it's because my husband was either raised here or already lived here. So girls get married and come here. So how can I bring you from there to here? And because of this, your sister's life, believe me, ends up facing problems. So kindly, for this fifth category, to solve the problems of the girls in this fifth category, their brothers need to think. Otherwise, these same issues can end up ruining those poor girls' homes in the future. Because when they contact matchmakers, and even if a matchmaker takes their money, what will happen? I know, even if someone takes the money, what will happen? Those poor girls' money will be wasted. Ultimately, they'll start nagging their husbands, and when the boys put them in trouble, their brothers put them in trouble. Ultimately, they'll put their husbands in trouble. And the marriage relationship is such a delicate one that when the boy's family or the boy himself would come to me, so a boy came to me. Let me tell you a story, and from that you'll understand what happens when someone meets you, because I have daughters. I have sisters of my own. So this boy came and said, "Do you know so-and-so, Mrs. So-and-so?" Yes, I know her. She knows me by name, because she's shown me 100 girls. I've rejected 100, so I looked him up and down. I couldn't see a single good point in that boy. How did that woman manage to show 100 women to such a strange-looking guy? And after a proper debate with him on this, I told him, "Brother, Even if you do get married now, you'll definitely get divorced because the curses of those 100 girls you rejected will follow you. Anyway, he had come with his mother, and now they've left. Let me tell you another important point. Just think of Ahmed Matchmaker as the moon. He's sitting on the moon, working on his computer. You need to decide whether you want a marriage proposal or if you just want to meet Ahmed Matchmaker. Yes, you say, no, we'll pay the fee. If you just want to meet me, then I won't tell you about any proposals. So if you want to meet me, then the meeting fee will be charged because I came to meet you. Wherever you say, just send the visa. Whether you're in Dubai, the USA, or Canada. I'll come, I'll meet you, but then I won't show you any proposals. If you want to see proposals, you have to look at the proposals or meet Ahmed Matchmaker. That is the most important point. So this is the 6th category for those people who just say, we want to meet you. We want to meet you. No, Ahmed Matchmaker works online. When you order an Uber, the owner of Uber doesn't come. The Uber comes. What are you going to do by meeting the owner of Uber? An office somewhere. People are sitting there. If it's Kareem sends its taxi. But if you say, no, I want to meet the owner of Kareem, that's different. In this 6th category, people just want to meet us. So these videos are mainly for those people that when you appoint a matchmaker, there should be a particular website for it, and they should be available to you one-on-one, present with you, just like I am with you right now. When things are explained to you in this way, the meaning of your marriage, the marriage that is to happen, is communication with the bride's family and the groom's family. And for those between 35 and 50, I've already defined their 1st category. Anyway, I hope this point is clear now that we don't meet in person. Think of Ahmed Matchmaker as someone sitting on the moon. If you need a proposal, you'll get it by email. You are available to us on call. I'm still talking, so tell me, should I call you on WhatsApp on YouTube? Where do you want me to call you? You can call me, Skype, or set up a meeting. No need to meet in person. Power of technology. We connect you to proposals from USA, Australia, Dubai, Canada. No visa. When people hear these names, they think, I'll go abroad. No, no one will take you abroad. I can send your details, but no one will take you there. So if you want to go from Pakistan, stay in Pakistan. If you want a proposal in Pakistan, you'll get one in top cities: Karachi, Lahore, Islamabad, Rawalpindi, Sialkot, Faisalabad. You'll get a proposal, but no one will take you abroad. That's the key point. Let's move forward with our discussion. Now, we are transitioning and moving towards the 7th distinct category of individuals we encounter, having successfully concluded our analysis and understanding of the 6th category. So, our focus is now entirely shifting towards the intricacies and unique characteristics of this 7th category. We are specifically talking about the 7th category of people who approach us with their particular requirements and aspirations. Within this 7th category, we frequently encounter those individuals, often parents or family representatives, who are actively and diligently looking for a daughter-daughter-in-law. Their primary objective and the core reason they contact us is quite specific and often articulated with a certain degree of pride and expectation. When they establish contact with our services, they explicitly state, and I quote, "We are looking to establish and open a new hospital, a medical facility of our own, and it is important to us that everyone in our family is a qualified medical professional, a doctor, with the singular exception of this one particular boy." The amusing and somewhat ironic aspect of this recurring scenario is that, without fail, It is consistently just this one specific boy in the family who is not a doctor, while every other member of their extended family, including parents, siblings, and even distant relatives, holds a medical degree and practices as a doctor.